Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is REYES. I'm your host. And in most of my videos, I tell you things to say in a job interview. I give you tips. I give you strategies. I want to help you to get that job. But in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you 7 things you absolutely, positively don't want to say in a job interview. And that, my friends, is up next. Before I tell you 7 things you absolutely, positively don't want to say in a job interview, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to Over 50 TV. You know, on this channel, we want to help you discover what you're meant to do. So we provide career advice and small business startup tips. To subscribe to our channel, all you have to do is hit that little red button, and there's a thumbs up button. If you hit that thumbs up button, that lets us know, that lets me know that you enjoy the content. There's also a little bell. If you hit on that little bell, you'll get our latest updates and they'll be delivered right to your inbox. Okay, number 1. Don't talk bad about the company. Don't talk bad about the people you work with. Don't talk bad about the task that you were required to do. No, never do that. It reflects poorly on you. It almost seems like you're a crybaby. It's like you're someone who's just not happy or gonna be happy, and the person that you're sitting across from, the person that's interviewing you, may think, hey, if I hire this person, are they gonna be unhappy after a short period of time? No, you wanna always stress the positives. You want that energy in that room to be positive. You want them to look at you as somebody who is leaving that company because it's your decision to leave, because you wanna grow, you wanna go to what they say, greener pastures. You want somewhere that's gonna give you the opportunity to use your skills and talents. No, never talk bad about the company, whatever you do. Again, it just reflects poorly on you. Number 2, don't be desperate. You know, I've interviewed hundreds of people over the years, and occasionally I do get or have gotten someone who comes in and says, I want to work here. I'll do anything you want me to do. That screams of desperation. And when someone's desperate, it tells me that they haven't had a job in months, maybe even years. It tells me that no one, no other company, no other hiring manager would take a chance on them. No, you don't want to come across as desperate. That's the last thing that you want to do. And one thing that I know, if I were to hire somebody who is desperate, I'll give them a position, I'll put them in a job, and you know what's going to happen? Within a month or 2 or 3, they're not going to be happy and they're going to end up quitting, and that's going to end up costing me money. So no, don't be desperate. A hiring manager, a good one, an experienced hiring manager, will see right through that, and they will immediately take you off the list. They will not hire you. Number 3, this one I would think that most people wouldn't do, but as a person who has hired hundreds of people at some of my publishing companies, I can tell you that people will come in and say, what do you do? Now, granted, they can look at one of my magazines on a table, they can go online and see us on the web, but they still come in. I've still had people come in who and would say, what do you do here? All they have to do, if they did any research on my business or on my company at all, is all they had to do is look at that research and come in and just know what we were doing, know everything that we do at the business. But you know what happens? People will come in, they're just basically fishing, they're looking for a job, they want someone to interview them, they want to make some money, so they're just willing to take anything. And that's what that tells me. Now listen, if you're not serious about working for a company, why should that hiring manager be serious about hiring you? So never, ever, absolutely do not go into a company and say, what do you do here? Do your research. Do your research, do yourself a favor and the company a favor. Don't waste your time and don't waste their time. Number 4, don't ask about pay. You know, I've heard people say, well, there's this unwritten rule that you never ask about pay, especially on your first or second interview. And I don't disagree with that whatsoever. Certainly you don't want to ask that, but I'm going to tell you why I believe you should never ask that question, at least not initially, because if you wow them, if you take that interview viewer and you make them, they want you so much, they know they've got a great candidate, they've got somebody who's got all the skills match up with what the needs are, that interviewer may look at you, that hiring manager may look at you and think, you know what, I'm going to give this person the high end of our hiring package. I'm going to give them the high end. You don't want to lock them in early to where they're going to say, well, this is the range, because you know what, if you wow them, if you impress them, they may go higher. Why put yourself into a little box? Why limit yourself? No, never ask about pay. And yes, it is true, again, there are unwritten rules about not asking, but don't lock yourself into a pay that may be lower than they would actually be offering you if you wowed them. Number 5, do not embellish. Please don't embellish. Don't do that. In other words, don't lie. Because here's what happens. People will go into an interview, they want that job, they may be a little bit desperate inside, even though it's not coming out, it's not so obvious, but they're going to be telling that employer, telling that interviewer, things that they can do that they truly cannot do. They don't have the skill set. And let me give you a great example of that. When I was hiring graphic designers en masse, I'd hire graphic designers because my company was growing, we were blowing up, we were expanding, and I needed graphic designers to come in to design the pages, to design the ads for our company. What happened was that I'd interview someone, they'd come in, they would tell me what their skills are. You know, the phone interview, they'd tell me that. They'd come in, the initial interview, they would tell me that. And then when I put them in front of a computer to test their skills, to test their knowledge, what I'd find is that they were slow or they didn't know the program. And as soon as that happened, I would just look at them and say, adios, I can't use you, I'm sorry. No, don't embellish, it will come out. If you tell somebody you have the skill set and you truly don't, it either comes out in the interview or it will come out later on, and it will make you look bad. Number 6, don't blame bumbling, incoherent answers to interview questions on the fact that you're a bit nervous or maybe even a lot nervous. To me, it's just an excuse. Whenever anybody would sit in front of me when I'm interviewing them or being interviewed by some of my hiring managers and they fumbled or bumbled through an interview and then they said, oh, I'm just nervous. I'm sorry that I can't answer your questions properly. You know, I'm normally not like this. No, it comes across as you're somebody who's just making excuses. But what it also comes across to me is somebody who's not confident in what they do. They're not confident in their skills. It's somebody who, if I put into a position, or if a hiring manager is thinking this, they're thinking, if I put this person into a position, if I hire them, are they going to be cool and calm? Are they going to be able to handle a tough or stressful situation? So that's what I'm going to be wondering. That's what the hiring manager is going to be wondering. So no, don't use the excuse that I'm nervous and I'm sitting here in this interview and I don't know anyone and it's a new setting for me. No, don't do that. No excuses. Go into that interview. Practice your answers to the questions. Go in there with confidence. Take a deep breath. You know, maybe just think pleasant thoughts, but don't make excuses. Whatever you do, don't blame fumbling, bumbling answers to interview questions on your nerves. Number 7, don't come across cocky or overconfident. Now, I know that there's a fine line between cockiness and confidence. I know that, or I should say being overconfident. But here's the thing, it's not the me show. You know, don't come across that you're this cocky, confident person. You can handle any situation they throw at you. You're not Superman. You're not somebody who can just take on the world. No. Come across as a cool and confident person, but certainly not cocky. I've hired hundreds of salespeople over the years, and I would hire someone, and if somebody came into my office and they sat in front of me at my desk, and I was interviewing them, and they were telling me how great they were, how much they could sell, how great a job they would do for me, and then I put them in the field, and I find out that they really are not a good salesperson. They really were in the interview overly confident. They were too cocky, and then I'm looking back at them and I'm thinking, you know what, they just BS'd me. They really did not have the skills. They just came in like they were great. They came in like they were Superman, but truthfully, they were neither. Thanks for watching 7 things you absolutely, positively don't want to say in a job interview. As usual, if you've enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead and subscribe. All you've got to do is click on that little red button. There's also a little bell. If you hit that little bell. You'll get our latest updates and they'll be delivered right to your inbox. And there is a thumbs up button. If you hit that thumbs up button, that lets me know that you enjoyed watching our video. Well, listen, have a great day, everybody. I look forward to meeting you and talking to you again soon.